Welcome back. Paint to the Pit, season number 2, episode 3. We are back in the building. Jay, how you feeling? Talk to me.
Beautiful, man. Glad to be staying consistent.
Glad to be staying consistent. Glad to be outside. Glad to be back in basketball season. I was just thinking about this the other day, bro. Like, this is the October. This time is the best time to be a sports fan, bro. October. I don't know why October, but like, I don't know why they ain't picked July for everything to be at its peak. But October is the best time to be the sports fan, right? You got the World Series in baseball happening, NBA season just starting up, WNBA season just finishing up. Peak wrestling. You got obviously NFL season in full swing. We got all of our major sports, hockey. Everything is in swing right now, bro. It's a good time to be a sports fan. But speaking of, as we're gonna be doing moving forward consistently, starting our Monday episodes off with highlighting the NBA players of the week for the first week of the NBA season. First week. It should be no surprises on any side, to be honest. but maybe some people, wasn't really catching all of the games. So obviously the Western Conference had to be living under a rock. But of course, Victor Wembanyama averaging 33.3 points per game, 13.3 rebounds per game, 6 blocks per game. 6 block, bro. They played 3 games. They played 3 games. 6 blocks per game. Obviously, that's not going to hold up. But that's still just crazy. Just even for a week.
18.
That's fire. And the Spurs went 3-0 this opening week on the Eastern Conference side. Again, the Greek Freak. Player of the week every week, probably this year in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. Might mess around with MVP again. You know who I'm going for. That boy.
Right.
But shout out to Giannis, averaging 36 points a game, 16 rebounds, 7 assists. His team went 2-1 on the week, bro. So this week we have Victor Wembanyama and Giannis Antetokounmpo, bro. Do you think the voters got this right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you can't. How do you not give someone with 18 blocks in 3 games not give them play of the week? It's just and then you look at the team like the Spurs. Like of course there's the question of what their development is at, where the players are at, because obviously Wembanyama is an anomaly. The guy's an alien. But also, the rest of the team, it's not just one guy. It's how the rest of the team develops as well. And they seem to be off to a nice little start. I like, I like watching teams like that. It's like they're not really fully like a complete team, but you could tell they're getting it. Like the pieces are starting to come together, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Like watching this week, I'm not gonna lie. If Luka wasn't out and he would have put up another 40 ball against Sacramento, I'd have been like, I don't know. Because Luka had 40 in the first 2 games, bro.
Yeah.
And we would have been 2-1 had we won, but we ain't gonna make this a Lakers podcast. Shout out to Wemby. Shout out to Giannis, players of the week. I think the voters got it right for sure. Like Wemby is on the tear. Giannis is just.
You can't ask for a better start.
I think they lost to the Cavs, I believe, last night. Yeah, they lost to the Cavs last night, but he still had like 40, 14, and 9.
Right.
Like just some disrespectful numbers.
That's a man on a
man. That's what we're gonna call disrespectful numbers. But yeah, shout out to Giannis on some other notable games over this weekend. Bro, I'm gonna start by 3 words: white boy Cole. That white boy in LA. We ain't talking about the Don. That white boy in LA. Hey y'all. That white boy Cole. That white boy Cole. We're gonna have to pay that man. White boy Cole.
That's the definition of have yourself a game.
Have you, bro? But it's like the thing is though, it's not even an anomaly. He's done this before when Bron and AD was out, or when we got Luka, Bron and Luka was out. He's done this before, like just had these monstrous games where you just go, yeah, he's really capable. So shout out to AR, but even moving beyond that, we had some great games.
Quick question, because I know you all the Lakers connoisseur, so we got to go to you.
Yeah, talk to me.
But my thing is like, because you say when players are usually out on the Lakers, Austin Reeves tends to show these flashes. It has these types of games. Like, do you think this should be more of a thing when those guys are on the court, or do you just appreciate what it is as it is?
Yeah, I think how can it? Like, it's one basketball. AR can't take 22 shots when Luka and Bron is playing. Like,
Yeah.
the odds of him getting to that number. So it's just sheer mathematics that it wouldn't even make sense for me to think when both Luka and Bron is on the court that AR can have those games. I don't ever envision AR scoring 50 when both of those guys are playing. Maybe 30, maybe 20, but I don't truly see 50. That's just him putting the team on the back. I do think, like, even the same with DeAndre Ayton, who had a great game yesterday
Yeah.
too. Don't
Yeah.
want to let that. I
Mm-hmm.
think, what was he, 20? What was he?
I
Something
think it was like
22, 15, something
20,
like that.
22 and 15. Yeah.
22 and
On like
15,
10
right?
shots a day. Yeah.
You can't take those games for granted. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, for me, my realistic, if AR stay around 20, because he's gonna have the shot attempt to stay around 20 per game, 20 points per game. He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna have the shot attempts to be there. That's why I always say, for me, my DeAndre Ayton thing is like, yo, bro, get me 15 and 10 a game. 15 and 10. That's all I want. 15 and 10. Because everybody can't average 20, bro. Like, that's why I hate when people sometimes have unrealistic expectations. I can't have 4 players on my team. Name me a team where 4 players on the team average 20. You
Yeah,
know?
you'd be hard
So
pressed.
people be acting like, oh, I want DeAndre. Everybody can't dog in the game. But what we
That's
can
like,
have,
did you hear what Shaq said that other
what's that?
post game? And he was saying like he's basically calling out DeAndre Ayton. He's like, yeah, this is your time, man. He's like, you on this type of team, you get the ball, you go into the hoop, you dunk it. You got two of the biggest names on the team that's gonna get a lot of the pressure. He's like, this game should be easy to you, which I get. I get his
Yeah.
theoretical mindset, but like you said, everybody can average 20, man.
Yeah, everybody can't average 20. So it's
Yeah.
like, all you can ask DeAndre Ayton to do is do the most with the touches that he get,
Mm-hmm.
right? Don't
Mm-hmm.
take no dumb shots. If the shot not there, swing the pill, be aggressive. So if he finishes, 6 for 8, it's like,
Yeah.
damn, I don't really expect him to take more than 8 to 10 shots a game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we talking putbacks, being aggressive on the offensive board, like, now, if that's what people mean, like, as a way to get his shots up, okay, I can expect that. I can respect that. But if we just talking sheer, just like, oh, when you touch the ball, go, no. It's Luka, it's Bron, it's AR. There's a pecking
Mm-hmm.
order on the team. Now,
Yep.
of course, there's going to be some matchups that's more favorable that we hope you dominate, but 99% of the games is going to be Luka. So it's like, DeAndre Ayton, give me 15 and 10. Give me 2 blocks a game.
Yep.
Slide your feet. Make
But
shots
yep.
harder for people. Stay on the court. Don't get in foul trouble. We good. We good.
Can't ask for more, man.
Yeah, it's like we not even asking him what he did in Phoenix. We
Mm-hmm.
asked him for a little bit less offensively, but maintain it defensive or exceed it defensively. So now you could put a little bit more effort into the defensive side of the ball because, wow, you got Luka, Braun, and AR, and just like he did yesterday, when you catch those passes in the pocket, do the little, huh, do the little, huh. But yeah, no, shout out to the Lakers though.
Yep.
The Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Pacers in a great game.
Mm.
The Mavs beat the Raptors. Cooper Flag had 22. Great
Yeah.
game. The second team I'm cheering for this season, the New York Knicks. Unfortunately, first loss of the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it the first loss?
Yeah.
I
First
think
loss.
so.
Yeah. To the
Yeah,
Heat.
first loss of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But another great game, though. Another great game. Norman Powell had 29. Bam had 19 and 13.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
some some great games, some great
Those
games over the
games they can do
weekend, bro.
that.
Yeah, some great
Was that
games.
guy that's gonna sneak in a 25, 20 point game, 30 point game? So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything from these games that you wanted to highlight? Anything that stood out to you?
Man, my boy, yeah. But that's right. That's regular at this point,
That's
man. That
regular.
shit was
That's
ridiculous, bro.
that's
Like it's like you said, he was making fun of himself. He was like, "Damn, like 30 is like under for me." I'm like, "All right, talk your shit, bro."
But it's real.
Yeah, because that man, an easy go for the
Or you
50
gotta
point.
say, did he lie though? If he didn't lie, then we can't call it arrogant. We can't call it like if
Oh
it's the
man.
truth. So
Um.
so yeah, bro, I'm loving where basketball at, bro. Like we've
Mhm.
been having a lot of like 50-point games, 40-point games. That mean nobody playing defense, but you know. But
People are showing out though.
at the same time, bro, these guys are so insanely talented offensively with the ways they can score the ball.
Mhm.
People are trying to play like people are playing defense, but great offense is always going to be great defense.
The Nuggets game, the Aaron Gordon 50 ball with the
Yeah,
10, like that's
yeah,
ain't gonna hear
you
Aaron
know,
Gordon doing that.
yeah. But if Aaron Gordon going to hit 10 threes, you clap it up and you say hurrah. But they still lost that game.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
How do you lose a game where Aaron Gordon goes for 50?
Oh.
That's but it's regular season. I'm not trying to over like
Mm-hmm.
the Nuggets are in trouble, but I'm just saying for the sake of that individual game, it's like how do you
Mm-hmm.
lose a game when Aaron Gordon scored 50?
Right, a play that don't even touch 30
Come
most
on,
times.
a player that like midway through the season betting him on FanDuel for 10 points and 4 rebounds is going to be a good bet on him. It's going to be risky. I mean, 10-4 is going to be risky on Aaron Gordon.
Plus 600.
50 and 10, ridiculous, right, man? 10 threes made.
Right.
It'd be crazy if he caught the 3-point record. You'd be like, bro, we'd
Yeah.
be happy. No, most nights we'd be happy Aaron go and make 2 threes. Imagine he held the 3-point. They should have kept letting him shoot.
Let him go for
See,
like 16 threes.
that's the problem I had. The problem I had in 2K too. If he got 50, he should have had 60. That's my motto in 2K. If he got 50, should have had 60. That
Should
means
have had
somebody
50.
wasn't passing the ball at the right spot at the right time. When somebody got it going, you get that person the basketball. Until that flame dim all the way out.
Right. Take
That's just
over or not.
that's just the basketball I like to play. But
Flare screen.
yeah,
Came down.
shout out to
Um,
shout out to all that's going on in the world of the NBA. But transitioning from the the paint to the pit. See what I did there? Transitioning from the paint to the pit. I've been watched last week episode of SmackDown. Saw some great things, but I want to start the pod off, bro. The wrestling topic at least with just discussing some of the storylines. I just wanted to know where you feel like they currently are. Do you feel like you ready for it to be over? You ready for it to move on? Do you feel like when maybe the seventh inning where you get up to go get your popcorn and wait to maybe the next PLE to feel like you back in the eighth inning or something like that? I just want to know your thoughts on these storylines. I do want to start off with my favorite wrestler of all time, Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. Just wanted to know like what you're thinking about that storyline right now. You're seeing Jimmy Uso in it, but then Jimmy Uso also got everything going on with Jay back on Raw. Just your thoughts about that storyline. Guess we can start specifically with the Cody Rhodes and the Drew McIntyre aspect.
yeah, and that this is just the sentiment I've had when it comes to Cody Rhodes this whole time that he's kind of held the title, like everything post Roman Reigns. It's just hard to grasp onto whatever he's a part of. It's like it seems like whoever they put in to face him, you kind of get this feeling that it's just a guy to put there just to have Cody wrestle and fight and show off the belt and it to be a match. Because in a way, like you kind of you look at the character they place with him, you're like, okay, why would this guy win anytime soon? What is the
Yeah,
necessity for this guy to go over and continue on as champion? So it puts you in a spot where Cody is winning all the time. You did have that with Roman, yes, but it was the theatrics of that because you knew that he was going to pop his shit the next week. You knew that he was going to come out with all six Bloodline members and they got the tag titles and all the other titles plus Paul Heyman and just mouth off to the crowd. Like you knew that
yeah,
stuff was coming and people waited for that. With
yeah. And
Cody,
you also
man,
knew like lurking in the hallway, not even to cut you off, but lurking in the hallway was a Brock Lesnar return, a John Cena return,
Yeah.
all like the Jey Uso turn. So it's like it was moments where you actually thought, hey, this might be the time.
Right.
John Cena came back, might beat Roman. Ooh,
Mm.
Jey Uso finally got away. He got the big, might beat Roman.
Yeah.
The Rock coming around, might beat Roman. You know, like you had those moments, but I want to let you continue.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to add that there.
No, no, yeah, I agree exactly. There was always something with Cody. It just feels like they just can't figure it out, and
Yeah,
maybe that's just kind of just this whole sentiment we've had when it comes to wrestling, and just the how like the year has been has just been just like putting stuff together to kind of like fill out the weeks and string matches again to get to the WrestleManias, the Survivor Series, the Royal Rumbles. Then it like picks up, but I'm like it just it's hard for me as a diehard fan and like we talked about last week, seeing that we want to see the theatrics, we want the curtain
yep,
not be lifted all the time. We want the performance. We don't want to be sold a story. We want to see two
yeah,
guys battle it out and curse each other out and bring some dirt into the situation. Which makes me think of like say for example when they used to run like Triple H and Randy Orton. Remember when
yeah,
Triple H showed up to like the fake house he had and was just beating the shit out of him because he like
yeah,
antagonized Stephanie
yeah.
down the
No,
week and like
that's real though.
it's like things
That's
like that.
real.
Like give us the performance of it, not just okay.
Yep.
I'm Cody Rhodes. I'm the good guy. I'm gonna go into this match and just win clean. Crossroads
Yeah.
3 times over. I'm still the
Mm.
champion. like,
Yep.
like I don't look at Drew McIntyre in the feud and be like, oh, this is gonna be great. I know they're gonna put on good matches. I know Drew's gonna talk his shit and be the heel that he is, which he has continued to do. But that's all that's there. It's good guy
Yeah.
versus bad guy, and it's like how many times can we continue to run this story? And then like even just like with Jimmy Uso being in the mix, I'm like I don't even know what's going on here. How do we even fit these guys? It
Yeah. So
just
what is this? What do we have here?
right.
What do we have going on here?
Okay.
That's real though.
They're
That's
just
real.
trying to find ways to just keep
That's
the
real.
names relevant, and I get it, but I'm just like, man, like take a chance. I don't think you
You
have
have
nothing
to.
to lose at this point when it comes to Cody Rhodes. Like
Yeah.
he's champion. Do something that gives us, don't just keep us waiting in order for us to be hung on to the show and being like, what's going to happen next week? Because then we're going to be asking what's happening next week for 23 weeks in a row. I'm going to get tired of
Yeah.
seeing.
Then when you're
That
tired.
seems
Yeah.
to be the formula that's been happening. So that's why I feel the way I do. So I don't know. We'll see how I guess these next 2 weeks go because it seems like they're kind of trying to end most of the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully that ends with Drew McIntyre taking the belt off Cody. Because and I'm not even coming from it like an anti-Cody perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming from it from a Drew McIntyre perspective, actually. Like, I know he got
He's a
his run
worker.
during COVID, and I think, it was a great run, but I think he deserved a crowd run. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, what's the point of you doing this feud if it's not for him to take the belt off Cody? Because we don't see nobody. We don't see nobody down the highway that's gonna take the belt from Cody. We don't have. It's gonna be Roman again.
Right.
It's gonna be Roman again because it's like which it can be, and I'm sure that'll work because Roman's Roman, right?
Roman,
Roman's Roman, right? It's just certain people just
you
have
know what
that,
you get.
you know. But it's like if everything about even remember the contract situation with Drew, it was like they said they're gonna push him more, give him more opportunity and stuff. What bigger way than to have him beat Cody Rhodes for the belt? Because it's like the problem is, you know, it's always fun when we watching the chase and we watching that person try to beat that mammoth, that mountain, that rock.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously in this case I'm talking Cody chasing Roman. But once you conquer the mountain, and you realize there's no one that's looking to conquer the next mountain, it's like, all
He was
right,
the only one climbing.
he was the only one. And that's the problem,
Yeah.
right? That's the problem when you want to move the Braun Breakers and the Jacob 5-2s and the Bronson Reeds, when you want to make them 5 to 10 year plans as opposed to, hey, let's make them 1 to 10 year plans
Yeah.
as opposed to 5 to 10 year plans.
Mm-hmm.
Let's push them now because in an ideal world, we have 2 or 3 super over faces and 2 or 3 super over heels. in an ideal world, because we know at least one face and one heel are going to be part-time, the ones that's over. So
Mm-hmm.
at least if we got two more that's consistent, and then we can have the Romans come back like he does, or then we can have like certain people come back like they do, then I think it makes sense, right? But
Yeah.
who are really, and I would ask you impromptu, if you had to say who are the superstars in WWE, who would you say?
True. That's yeah, yeah. That's a
Who
tough
would
answer.
you,
That's a tough
you know what
answer
I
because
mean?
who do you really have outside of these two right here? Cody Drew,
Yeah,
Seth, but injuries keep coming up, so
yeah,
he's constantly having to be out. CM Punk is like, okay, not really, because he don't
yeah,
even get TV appearances. You know what I mean? Jey Uso has not gone well with the fans. That just it's there and then it's not there. He's good with the
exactly.
crowd, like of the performance, but overall the online chatter is nah. This guy, we tired of him. So yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
you
even
know what
know
I
who
mean,
else you
bro?
could.
And then it's like, I think the issues with the storyline, I even narrowed it down for me. The issues with the storylines is that like wins and losses don't matter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Bronson Reed win over Roman Reigns. Even as remember when Solo first beat Roman? Even when Jay
Mm-hmm.
Uso, remember the Jay Uso win over Roman actually meant something? Like where it was like, oh, that was the win that here we go. Okay, now. But it's like the Bronson Reed win over Roman. What is that really gonna mean? You know? It's like you gave him that win, now what?
Mm-hmm.
You just because it's Roman and you know you won't devalue Roman, it's just certain stuff like that is not making sense. It's not like the pieces are adding up,
Yeah.
So
Even for another example, look at what happened when Sami Zayn ended up beating Gunther after his long ass reign, gets the title, and like we've seen Sami Zayn since then. It's just been a slippery slope. Like he's
yeah,
just going downhill. He did get the U.S. title, but then immediately, well, not
got off
immediately,
that quickly.
but it wasn't long before an injured guy came back and has the title
Yeah,
now. And now they're like,
and
oh,
say
let's see what he could do. It's like it just
it's the way it doesn't make sense.
it's not adding up, man.
Stephanie Vaquer wins the championship. It doesn't defend it once in a month. Like make it make sense. Make it make sense. You know what I
So
mean?
this actually brings me to a good question I did want to ask you too, because now this is another small part of it I think contributes, because when we get to the weekly shows, what it seems like they're doing is they're saving the champions for the PLEs. They're using the weekly shows for the build up, like with the promos and the shit talking and all
Yeah,
that. But then when we get to the weekly shows, we're seeing just like basic matches, tag matches, like kind of keeping guys relevant. Like we see, like say for SmackDown, right? We'll see like Jimmy and Jay versus Drew, and then some random guy, like someone that's just let's say heel to just have a match, which I think they
yeah,
did last Monday, right? It was a CM
yeah.
Punk and Jay, yeah. And it's
Something
like,
silly.
right, and it's just like, would you rather them give those guys less screen time? Obviously, however you feel about that is how you feel about it. But I'm talking about just in terms of like getting fans back into really wanting to be involved in the weekly shows, because I don't really get that vibe from the weekly shows. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like people are interested. Maybe they are. Who knows? I could be wrong. But would you rather the weekly shows be title based, or is it fine
Hmm.
how it is, but would you modify that slightly?
I do think I would have it go back to being like weekly episodes need to have title changes, right?
Mm.
I think not just I understand the big ticket. Like obviously, I don't think Cody Rhodes should lose on a random SmackDown in Chicago.
Right.
Respect to Chicago.
Right.
But I am talking about the mid cards and the tag belts. Like same thing with whoever wins the world championship. I don't think they should be losing in, Illinois, on a random Friday. But I do think we need our stars on these shows, right? That's why it's important when Roman shows up at Raw, Seth's at Raw, Cody's on SmackDown. We need our stars to show up. One, but we also need like our stars in matches that matter. I don't think it should have to be every Friday, but maybe let's do a Friday where, hey, all right, we know Cody not gonna lose the belt, but let's actually put on a classic match. Like, let's actually go for a classic match. Let's go 60-minute Iron Man with such and such. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, Cody's gonna come out on top, but it's like, damn, you gave that casual viewer something that, hi, let me go see what
Mm-hmm.
the ESPN thing is about. Because if Cody did that here, I can only imagine what I'm paying $30 for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What
But
that
again,
Jelly looking like? Yep.
WWE don't struggle with the business, so they don't need advice from us. But I do think that would make the weekly shows more interesting, bro. Like you gotta our stars gotta be in moments, and I think the stars gotta be in moments, even just interactions, right? Like that's one of the little nuanced things I love about wrestling, right? Like when when Paul Heyman and you know Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are walking in the back, and then they stop and the camera turn and it's Brock Lesnar walking by. Like I love stuff like that
Yeah, yeah,
about wrestling,
yeah.
like
The
the
little snippet. Yeah.
cinematics. I think even you could use these weekly shows for that, bro. Like let Cody Rhodes pass somebody we didn't think he would be interacting with at this point in storylines, and let's see how the fans go. Let's see how the fans react. Let's see Cody Rhodes, walk past I'm just throwing names out there. But let's see Cody Rhodes walk past a Mello. Let's see if the crowd eat it up. Let's see if they go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have something there. I love those moments of like,
Which
you know,
they was
factions or people meeting up like that.
right. They have teased that before too. Actually, what you said? You said Carmelo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have teased that before,
Yeah.
and it just that was one weekend done. And it's like
Yeah.
it seemed
Yeah.
like it was catching up. You gotta at least get that 2 more weeks, something.
Yeah.
Right.
Or just find more unique ways to like have these people attach like themselves to other names. Like even if they not in the picture, like let Melo come out and say, "Yeah, I'm going for the world championship." Like let that be something
Yeah.
he say. You know what I mean? Like even sometimes looking past his opponent, like, "Yeah, I'm not fighting you now, but I'm still going for the Cody Rhodes. I'm going for the belt." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like make some parody.
Give us a sense of achievement, something you're striving for.
Change it up. You know, be unique in the matchmaking. Make fans more involved. Didn't WWE used to have something where fans could vote on who they see challenging somebody that week? Didn't WWE had that?
I think
Or am I
so.
making that up?
You might be right. Well,
I
I
feel
know
like they had that.
there was the one pay-per-view that had that. I remember
Or
that.
something. I feel
That
like I
was like
seen that before
Cyber,
somewhere.
was it Cyber Monday or Taboo Tuesday?
Cyber Month, yeah, something
Yeah,
like
and you
bring
got a
something
fan vote. Yeah,
we
yeah,
got a whole new generation of technology and kids, bro. Bring that back around. Bring
right.
Cyber Mondays back
Scan the
around.
QR code or something.
Yeah. Scan the QR code. We live from the Consonant chat. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like let Kai and them come and be one of the primary cameras. Like switch it up, bro. Like it's shit that can be tried, but it's like I guess because the paper there, why switch up?
Right. Switch it. You know they gonna buy the merch. You know
Yeah,
they
why
gonna buy
switch
the
up?
belts. They gonna buy the Prom Energy drinks.
Why switch up? They weren't about getting more money. It's not about really improving the product because it's like they can argue with you that it don't have to be improved because of their bottom line. So
Mm-hmm.
no
Can't
matter
argue
how
that.
much of us, no matter how much of us complain about it, we still watch it. But and they know that, and that's why nothing's ever going to change. But
Yep.
moving along, what do you think about on the other brand, the other belt? What are you thinking about CM Punk, Jey Uso? Me, I'll start off with this feud in particular because this the one where I always say I gotta cut slack. Nobody was preparing for Seth Rollins to get hurt. Like
Yeah.
you
That
can't.
that is
Again,
true.
we not talking about just a team player. We're talking about a superstar on the team. We're talking about when Luka Doncic go down. We're talking about when Giannis go down. That's Seth Rollins, bro. It's not like respectfully. It's not like Rui Hachimura went down. You know, that's like Seth Rollins. So I always got to cut him some slack. I got to cut him some slack there, bro. Like, of course, I don't want to see the match. Of course, I don't care about the feud. Of course, I know. Of course, we all know who's going to win. Of course, of course, of course. Of course is ass. Of course. You know, of course, bro. That's what I think about that feud. If I had to sum it up in 2 words, of course.
I feel right.
Of course. Like, what else can they do, bro? Like, you lose Seth Rollins, bro. And not even like you lost. We lost Bronson Reed, and we were still cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's when you know guys ain't superstars yet. Respectfully,
Right.
I don't mean that's not an insult.
You
It's
didn't
just the
have to do
truth.
much to make a change there. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to drastically change storylines for it to go.
Mm-hmm.
But we lost Seth, bro. So for me, it's like, get well soon, Seth. It's like, what else were they supposed to do in that spot? If somebody could genuinely articulate to me something better, because you can't just give Braun Breaker the belt. He has to take it off somebody that's credible enough for him to take it. It can't just be Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble and now he's the champ. We know they don't book that way. We know they don't book that way. So it can't just be immediately give Braun Breaker the belt. Obviously, he's going to get it. But it's like, what else you want them to do now? And everything that I've seen, I haven't seen somebody come up with a storyline that I go, oh, that probably would have been dope.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'm waiting to hear, bro. I know it's ass, but what is the alternative?
Yeah.
Something you got to turn around quickly. 2 people that are superstars in your company
Gotta do
that are
that pivot.
credible. If either one of them win it, that's just a business decision, bro. You have to make those when you don't have off seasons where people got time to get better 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Not 24/7, but it's 365. So it's like, I know people are gonna get mad with the match and get mad with everything. My only question is, what else?
Yeah, like we said before, who else is climbing this mountain?
Yeah,
That's kind of where I was at when it comes to the injuries. It's like, these things happen, and it seems to be happening to Seth on more than one account. So my thing is like, of course you don't want to prepare or think in that fashion, right? You don't want to be like, all right, well, he's our top guy, but he's also not very durable. You don't want to think in that way, of course, because the storyline seemed like it was going in a decent direction. There was something going on. It had some flair to it. Did it stall out a little bit? Of course, but
yeah,
that's just been the story for every WWE feud that's been going on this past year. So my thing is like, just I don't know, like they just gotta be other guys that should at least be positioned somewhere on the ladder, like
yeah,
and which again was the whole point of this conversation. Because, like you said, even when it comes to superstars, who else can you name?
yeah.
Again,
Who can
of
you?
course, it's these two guys.
Who can you? Because my thing is this, right, bro? Like, if even moving the feuds forward, my thing would be just, I would give, and hear me out, I would give the belt back to Jay here, right? And the reason that I would give the belt back to Jay is that I think you have more wiggle room with what you can do next as opposed to CM Punk. I don't think this is the way they envisioned CM Punk winning the championship at a Saturday night's main event or something. I think the vision for CM Punk was for him to win it at a PLE, like a SummerSlam, or WrestleMania, or something like that. I don't think this is the way, and I think that's truly what the plan was going into WrestleMania. Now, what I would do, bro, I would flip it, right? I would have CM Punk lose this match, find a
Okay.
way to make it to the Rumble, win the Rumble, and I would pick Cody, right? I think you let Jey Uso win this, right? And I think you have a bit more wiggle room. I think there's the Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker side of it, but I also think you can't forget about the shit talking he was doing with Roman when Roman said, I don't want to see how the Thanksgiving, talking about how Roman all about himself. That can open the door where now he's the hunter and Roman's the hunter. And now we're looking at it from different roles. Now I got the belt that you got the wiggle room there. You got the
Right.
Braun Breaker there. So I think you got and then you got whatever's gonna happen with Jimmy Uso there, which whatever. But I do think you have more wiggle room. You put that belt on CM Punk now, he's just gonna be fighting LA Knight and Braun Breaker for it. Who else is he really fighting for?
Yeah, you can't. There's nobody to slot in right now.
Who is he fighting for?
Nobody has had
Do you
enough of a
know?
build up. Like I don't think they're bringing Damian Priest into the fold anytime soon. And it
You
seemed
know what
like
I
his
mean?
run kind of had its course. And I like Damian Priest, but I'm saying that as just as a if I was in the creative sense or the booker in this instance, it just you got to
It
go
wouldn't
with
make sense.
all right. You got to go with
It
what
wouldn't
the
make
fans
sense.
are looking at and what the hype is right now, and just follow that.
Yeah, bro. Like, and then it's like you don't build up like one thing. WWE and executive knows we're really one thing we're still waiting on is for CM Punk to get his moment. Like
Mm-hmm.
his moment where he's standing on the grand stage and it's his belt and it's not for 20 seconds.
Right.
Everybody knows
No
we're
cash.
still waiting for that. Only thing that's a more priority to us right now is John Cena's final match. But behind that, I think if you was to told people what they truly waiting for, I think it's really that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing, I don't think that's a Saturday night main event thing, bro. Respectfully, I don't think you have him win it, lose it 10 seconds later, almost win the Rumble, lose, almost win the Rumble, tear the triceps for him to win it at Saturday night main event and a rush put together against Jey Uso. That's why I think you give it back to Jay.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think like this is the manner in which CM Punk should win that belt. One, and I don't see a storyline there. You're gonna have him win that belt with nobody trying to beat him. Like who's gonna come back? Gunther?
Yeah. Right.
I know, I
The
know
guy
his
who
return is coming. I know his return is near. Don't get me wrong. I know he got to get back into the
the
fold,
guy
but it's
who
like,
holds the belt 92% of the time.
do we, do we want Gunther versus CM Punk?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Or we could look at Gunther coming back and, maybe Roman take the belt off Jay and then we have a Gunther Roman.
Yeah. Possible
You
alleyway.
know?
Yeah.
This how you build superstars.
Mm-hmm.
Or next year, like one of these wrestlers, we can't be waiting another 3 to 5 years before we see Braun Breaker and or Jacob Fatu get pushed. Bro, it's
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time, bro. Y'all don't play a game with an off season where we could play with stars. It's like
Mm-hmm.
build them.
Yeah.
The more stars, the better.
Especially when injuries happen.
The
Especially.
more stars, the better, bro. Like, know what it's like when you can have a guy like Edge be in your mid card?
Right. The
That's when
Chris Jericho's
WWE
of the
was
world.
peak.
The
That's
Kurt Angles.
peak.
Yeah. The
That's
Kane.
peak. When the TLC with the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge, and Christian is like the fourth match on a 7-match card, bro. What are we talking about?
Just immediate star power. Like
That's main event in every card, bro. Every card that's not named Rock and Austin. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's the card that they was on, unfortunately. It's like, where is that? And
Mm-hmm.
that's all because you build stars and say whatever we want about the man with all the allegations. He knew how to build stars. And
Yeah.
even the stars that we have there, which ones don't he get credit for? Because all his superstars he get credit for. Everyone that's still there now. I don't care if Triple H been right in the last year. Tribal Chief came around, Vince was still at the helm.
Mm-hmm.
Seth freaking Rollins, the visionary, Vince was still at the helm. Rhea Ripley, Vince was still at the helm.
Mm-hmm.
Bianca Belair, Vince was still at the helm. CM Punk came back, Vince was still at the.
Right.
Maybe he wasn't.
That was like right around when he
Yeah.
like yeah.
Don't quote me on that one. Obviously, Jey Uso, like all the superstars, it was Vince. We're the next ones.
Yeah, that's
And I know, don't get me wrong, NXT and all those guys, a lot of talent. We see the next ones right in our face, but it's like, come on.
yeah. You don't get the same feeling. You don't get the
You know?
superstar. Like I think like you said, they got a lot of guys. There's a lot of really good guys they signed from AEW too. Like Obafemi is really good, but
Yeah.
again, look at those guys. You're like, it's not really catching on with the crowd. You know they're gonna do great in ring work. I think the in ring stuff is always the part that we treat that's like constant. Like we know we're gonna get that. but it's
One
everything
hundred
else.
percent.
It's the theatrics, it's the presentation, it's the name, it's the merch, it's the promos, it's the can you be a good face, can you be a good villain, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I did have a
Go
question.
for it. Yeah.
In terms of the booking portion, do you see there being an avenue where they, because Seth Rollins is injured right now, right? Do you see there being an avenue? I don't even know how long he's out for, but do you see there being an avenue of a Royal Rumble return and he wins it and he comes back as a face, having been betrayed and all that? Do you think that's an avenue, or do you think like the injury is his cool down, like he's just not really gonna come back?
Yeah. I don't think he's coming back for this Rumble.
Mm.
Because what's the Rumble? Like February?
Not that far. I think it's
March? Something like that? February,
it's
March?
usually like,
Because
yeah, like the
because WrestleMania is
first,
usually April, right?
right. So it's probably, yeah, it's probably gonna be like February, March, I think. January or
Okay. Yeah,
January,
yeah.
February,
So that's what I'm
somewhere
saying.
in that first three
Yeah.
months. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bro, but like I don't think none of those guys need to win that. Like, and that's another thing, bro. It's another great segment because it's like a segue because it's like, you know, when guys, when made guys, I'm gonna use mafia terms, when made guys
He's
win
a
Royal
made.
Rumbles or Money in the Banks, that shit get on my nerve, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit get
Mm-hmm.
on my nerve. Because at any point you can insert those guys right back into the mix and nobody gonna be like, why they getting a title shot? Because they're made guys. It's like
That's.
those supposed to be for the people you pushing up next.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's like that's my issue with Cody winning it back to back. We wouldn't have been mad if he found a better way for him to get that Roman match at Mania. Why do he need back to back Rumbles, bro?
Yep, yep, yep.
Rumbles?
Oh, he got back to back. Now we're cheering out on him. Like, damn, that was a
When people already
short period
wanted
of
to see him
time.
beat Roman the first time.
Right.
So they would have been more invested the second time. The Rumble? It's like last year. It's like I felt like they finally hit us with the oh wow, Jey Uso won. That hit some
Right.
people by
Yep.
surprise.
Mm-hmm. That was
Some
like,
people like,
oh,
oh
okay.
shit.
They did
Jay
give
got
him
because
that.
remember the conversation was is it gonna be John or is it gonna be Punk? And it's like, oh, they said to Jay. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, now you go from here to a whole nother stratosphere now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Main
it's
event.
time. I don't want to see Seth Rollins winning no Royal Rumbles, bro. I don't want to see Roman winning them. I don't want to see CM Punk winning them. I don't want to see Cody Rhodes winning anymore. Bro, I
Yeah.
just don't. Like that's supposed to be the segue of who you feel is up next.
Mm.
And let him be that. And let him
Mm.
be that. You got money in the bank. Who's up next?
Yeah.
Or you made it so that the briefcase is a year. Who you feel is a year away?
Who's he? Yep.
Who's a year away?
In a way, like the what was that, the was that the Damian Priest cash in? That I felt
Yeah,
like was drawn up pretty well. I
I
think they
do. I
executed
agree.
that not bad. Like, it had a nice pace to it. And Damian Priest was one of those guys you felt like he was not that far away. This is a good guy. You don't mind putting the money in the bank in and doing his little cash in and getting all his
Yep.
spoils. They just need to find ways to get back to that, I think.
Yep. And I think you got the perfect kind of like you got the perfect moment here, bro. Like, and again, I'm not caping for Jay Uso, but it's like he getting disliked so much at a certain point you're gonna have to heel turn him.
Right.
It's the same thing with Roman. The big dog shit was just getting paused, forced down our throats, forced down our throats.
Mhm.
To where it went from Roman from the Shield to like, okay, he won it. Okay,
This is
Roman's
his
winning
yard
it.
again.
Okay, this is his yard, big dog. Okay, like switch it up, which is a perfect segue to the next feud on switching it up. Jade Cargill and finally turned heel. Something that should have been something like she just has the aura of a heel.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
Absolutely.
has she's the what they say the girl every guy wants and the girl every girl want to be. That's Jade Cargill, bro. Like that's who
Yeah.
she is. She got the stature, she got the look, she got the everything. And if she could be able to talk her shit with it, which you can't really do as a face,
As a face, yep.
when you get to talk your shit with it, man,
And
listen.
that was the thing too. Like having watched her run in AEW, she ended up holding the television belt for like it was like a record like 530 days or something like that. She was just undefeated for like mad long, all while being a heel. But the reason that it worked was okay. Like one, they didn't really have any stars that they felt that they could put over Jade Cargill, which I think ended
Yeah,
up being Chris Statlander, which she actually got the women's title right now finally. But
yeah,
when before that there was just nobody that could challenge her. But the reason she held it so long was because she wasn't a bad heel. Like, the promos was working, everything she was doing was working. So it's like, how could you take that away from her if it's getting with the crowd? They fucking with her
yeah.
as a heel. They liking what she's doing, and it's working. I think, yeah, like in this situation, that's gonna be fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, no, you have to do that. You have to give these people the opportunity to put themselves in the best light. If somebody not going over as a face, bro, there's only one other thing you can try with them. You
Mm.
know, I think it's just simple math. You know, everybody's not meant to be face, and you got to know that. You got to know your, and I mean this respectfully. I mean this very, very respectfully. But you got to know, like, your better looking wrestlers are always going to be easier heels because they're going to have what I just said. They're going to have all of the girls that want to be him and all of the guys that want to be with the girl. You know, so it's like that's Jade Cargill. When you look better, you just get the, you know, it's the
Yeah,
truth. It's the truth. It's
that's
always
the
easier
accurate.
for like a Trish Stratus to be
Mm,
a heel. Well, because she knows she could get out there and
that's
say, I could take your husband. You
right.
know, because she know deep down is probably the truth. You know what I mean? So shout out to Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
Gonna be interested to see how this all ties into a Bianca Belair return.
Mm.
I don't know
That's
when
gonna be
that's
fun.
gonna be,
That's
but I know that's coming. So I'm looking forward to that.
mm-hmm.
Shout out to Tiffany Stratton again. I think, you know, when you're always the person climbing the mountaintop, it's a little easier than when you get there. I
Mm-hmm.
think the best thing WWE did for her title run is having her beat Charlotte Flair at Mania. I
Right.
think that, you know, just kind of stamped that run, stamped who it was. I don't know where is the next person that's of an elk that's gonna, you know, move the needle next. I don't see that. I think the WWE like really need to, and they do it with some athletes. Go back to everybody everywhere. I don't need, and I'm not saying every week, but I'm saying I don't need some people just on SmackDown and some people just on Raw. I think wrestling works best when everybody's everywhere, but
Yeah.
it's for those moments that I was just talking to you about, right? It's for
Mm-hmm.
those moments that, for when the Seth Rollins is backstage and Damian Priest walks by, and you get to see how the fans kind of eat that up. Or when the Rhea Ripley is standing somewhere talking and Jade Cargill walks by, you get to see how fans eat that up to kind of see, oh, this could be a potential teaser. This something they like. This something that made them go, ooh, ah.
Yeah.
As opposed to forcing people to storylines on just the brand shows. You know, I think that's what drives it out too. You know, sometimes
Getting
seeing
stiff.
Drew McIntyre on SmackDown, especially if they're not in like a prime time storyline, then I get why you would have to stay on one brand. But you
Mm-hmm.
know, mingle. But that's that's just kind of the feeling on that. Yeah, that's that feud. I don't really know of any other ones. And another one, and I know when we have these conversations, I always started and stop it at Braun Breaker and like Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu. But Dominic Mysterio's in that group for me too. And that's
Oh
not somebody that's not
yeah.
somebody I leave out intentionally or like with, you know, it's just somebody because he's so far away, like he's other promotion champions, you know, like he's just
Right.
intercontinental champion. So but he's in that elk for me too. I think Dominic Mysterio is a superstar. I think, you know, when the time comes, he would be pushed like one. And only I
They'll get
think
him.
for most promotions, you define as a superstar when you can sell tickets, right? So You know, when you could be the main event and when you selling the tickets, when you're the one putting the butts in the seats, right? So I think all of those guys have the potential. But talk to me, bro. What's on the docket for Raw tonight? We expecting a good show?
Let me see. You know what? I know they were gonna do the CM Punk and Jey Uso confrontation.
Okay.
They're gonna do that, which again, like we talked about,
Yeah.
you gotta have you gotta have this build up, I guess. They are doing a number one contender between Penta versus Rusev for the IC title, which I guess you need the match like that. Right? You need just those guys to be in the running, and tough. And then we got potential, who is this? Flair and Bliss versus Bailey and Lyra for the world tag titles on the women's end, which could be a good match, but that just seems more like they're just trying to build the whole Bailey and Lyra thing. I think they might go heel, which I don't know what putting Bailey back to heel does here. I feel like they one of those things where they can't really figure out what they want to do with her. So maybe just heel is just the best option for. And then they teasing who was this? Nikki Bella versus Roxanne. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm guessing that's just a match for Roxanne to show for talents.
What?
It's like okay,
What?
but
Nah,
this is the exact
shout out
conversation
to
I
those
was
lovely,
saying.
lovely
Yeah,
ladies, man.
thanks.
Like,
Probably great people, but the
yeah,
thing I've been
nah,
saying, bro, it's just like we no shade
you
to
know what?
Nikki Bella. She's a great individual. But man, like this is not who you want Roxanne to be facing. You're calling this person the prodigy, right? You're calling this person the future face of the women's division. Why go against somebody like Nikki Bella? And again, I'm not demoting Nikki
I don't
Bella
get
and
it.
saying she garbage. It just that's not the person right now that needs to be in the scene. Why is she not facing the Rhea Ripley's, the Lyra Valkyrie? Like like the people who were like, oh, they might have something there. Have her face those people the same way she did in
Yeah,
NXT. NXT was like, oh, we got something with these guys. Have her face those guys. It's just this is a throwaway
yeah,
match.
yeah,
It's complete
yeah. It's just like,
throwaway.
yeah, and that's why I do think exposure should only be happening to like at that level to your up and comers, bro. Like I know WWE got a 1,000,000,001 TV shows that they put on, but start getting these up and comers the the Braun Breakers and those guys. Like I want to see them more. Have them go sit
Mm-hmm.
down, Sirius XM. Let me see more interviews with those guys. Let me see their personality. Let the personality show. Let them increase the fan base. Go on to Jimmy
Yep.
Fallon. You could book that. Put Jimmy Fallon through a table, spare him or something. Same thing you did with Speed. Continue to build these guys' profiles so
Mm-hmm.
that you can maintain it or grow their superstar status. But it's like everything is like a hurry up and wait with WWE. It's like people come around, everybody get excited for them, and it's like, what are you really doing them?
They
It's
just
like
they
same,
just
same.
fall.
And I think the epitome of that has been Solo Sikoa.
True.
Something that was built up
Mm-hmm.
so much,
Mm-hmm.
like so much, and never put a title belt on him that mattered. Respectfully, never put a title belt on him that mattered. And then now he's walking around as the knockoff Roman.
Yeah, he's basic
He's the faction guy.
yeah, he's like right, and they kind of
You
tout
know what
him
I
as like
mean?
as like a manager almost. Like I'm like, what are we?
But
This
I
is what
do
we doing this
appreciate that.
over?
I do appreciate that it seems like they're away from the other side of the bloodline storyline, though.
Right,
I do
right.
appreciate that aspect of
I
it. So
respect that.
at least they trying shit. And I think even for the last kind of feud that we want to talk about today is that MFT and the Wyatts.
Right.
I think it's not too many people for the Wyatts to really face in a faction like this. So I enjoy this. Again, my gripes with some of these things is like you got to build these guys away from their factions too. You can't
Mm-hmm.
just build them within their faction, bro. Like when we was watching DX, that was a faction, but we was locked in when it was Road Dogg and Billy
Just
Gunn And they coming out to their own separate entrance
Mm-hmm.
that was away from the DX entrance.
Oh, you
That was
didn't know
also
that?
fire. They also had their own catchphrases and slogans and things that they did on the mic. Same thing with X-Pac, same thing with Triple H, same thing. So now when they get together and everybody come together, it feels like one big party because all your favorite wrestlers are in the ring now.
You know who everybody is on their own.
Because everybody individualized themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most important thing to do in a faction. But
Mm-hmm.
these factions come out, it's like, why Nikki Cross ain't never fighting for a woman's belt anywhere?
At all.
Why she's never in a match with them? Why she's never like it doesn't make sense to me. You have a unique opportunity where you have a lady in these factions, and it's like, be creative with that.
Mm-hmm. Try something.
You know what I mean?
Gotta fail. You gotta
Yeah.
fail.
But it's like she's not even in a woman's feud. She's in an all male group going against another all male group,
She don't even get
and
the
the only
toast.
women in it. You know? So it's a way. So it's like certain things start to look silly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why are we not seeing these guys fight individually? That's always going to be my problem. And it's like the same thing with Bo Dallas. It's like we understand he the leader of the faction. Put something on him. I don't know what belt it is. Put something on him. Make the faction seem credible that it's still around this long.
Especially with the way that they've done Judgment Day and reformed that faction so many times. Like we thought that was a faction that was going to be done after Edge left.
But how many times the belt was on? How many times the belt was on them?
Right, and they've done everything to that faction. They've added new people, taken out people. It's just always being swapped out. Like the old Judgment Day don't even look like what Judgment Day look now.
And that's the same. It's like even when Rhea was the only champion, that's what kept the credibility.
Mm-hmm.
There was a belt in the group. If they had the tag belts, Damian Priest had a belt, Rhea Ripley had a belt, or Dominic or Finn had the IC belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's how you sustain factions, though. And everybody in that faction we can individualize.
Right.
Even bum ass JD McDonough. Like we can individualize all of these guys. You know? We can't do that with if I ask you what was Tama Tonga's finishing move, what's the name of it?
You can't even guess.
You know? Right now, tell me, hum the beat to his entrance right now. Like, can you do it? No.
Nope.
No. But if I say, tell me the New Age Outlaws, you didn't know?
Yeah.
Like you just gonna be ready. Even if it's just instrumentals, you're gonna hum it. Like
no, yep.
You know when the Hardy like you know it. It's like you don't know these guys.
And you know the Matt Hardy version too, so like
you know?
Crazy, man.
These guys don't got individual themes, outfits, nothing.
They just
show up to work and do the job. Like, sound like a dope ass paycheck. I ain't gonna hold you.
Right.
But but I think that's the next phase of the superstars, bro. Like the people that we mentioned. I think tonight on Raw, I don't think it's gonna have any impact really. You know, the face off is the face off. You know, of course. You know, of course.
That's the selling point for the episode.
Of course. You know, but wrestling's in an interesting spot. The Seth Rollins thing threw everything for a curveball, but again, I'm end off with saying that's why I think you should give Jay the belt back. I think you have more wiggle room. But bro, with this being the end of this episode, Monday's episode, Paint to the Pit, I want to leave it with anything you want to highlight for this week in the world of sports. This segment we don't just subject it to basketball and wrestling. You know, every sport. So
I do want to mention in the basketball realm, LaMelo Ball. That was a sick ass.
Shout out to LaMelo.
That was a sick
LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, cooking in the most worth his games.
Right. That's a fact. Just 38, 13, and 13. That's what I got. Like, all right.
For real, bro.
And who else? No, that's it.
Nah, for sure, bro. But it's like, when your shit don't equate to winning, niggas only watching it, but so much, bro.
Right.
Like, I cannot tell you what CJ McCollum is doing on the Wizards. I know we a basketball pod, but bro, when you're on a relevant, you can't. It's hard to stay in tune with 30 teams, bro.
Right.
That's why I'm only locked in to about half. No, the other half, the ones
We just
that's
know who cooking.
playing for the lottery pick. I know the players who on which team,
Right.
but I'm not turning on the random Wizards versus Hornets. I'm
You're
going to
not
check the
turning on
box
us. You're
score.
not turning on the Cam
Oh,
Thomas
LaMelo had
40.
30, 10, and 10. Oh, shit, but they lost by 12. Oh, the usual, Yeah. But for me, in the world of sports, white boy Cole. You know how that go, bro.
White boy
White boy
code.
Cole. When that game was happening last night, I was like, oh, it's easy who I'm going highlight for this segment. Like when it's time to talk about white boy Cole, bro.
50
51 a 50 piece. No, bro. All right. The 50 piece was Cole. He had 11 and 9, bro.
Yeah, bro. Mm-hmm.
Now I
I
be
don't just
saying that
have
in
him.
2K. It's like, yo, I had the 50 ball, but don't just skim past my 12 assists, please. I take that very seriously. The 50 is cool, but he had 11 and 9. Zach LaVine had like 30 something with no assists, bro. That's nasty, bro. Like to
He said,
score a 30 burger with no assists is nasty, bro. Not one.
like, bro, he something.
You ain't find somebody open once.
Points
But
responsible
yeah,
for 38.
white boy Cole, bro. Points scored 38. Points responsible for 38. Plus minus 38.
Yeah, like,
but
yeah, bro.
but white boy Cole. Shout out to AR 15 to 50, 51, 11, and 9 when we found out Luka was going to be out for the week. So shout out to him, bro. And shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for joining us again. Paint to the Pit, episode 3, season 2. Told y'all we're going to be putting these out. But until next time, we are out. Paint to the Pit.
Peace.
Yeah.